Welcome back to the channel Coin Collector History Buffs and Rare Currency Enthusiasts. If you're someone who loves the thrill of discovering hidden treasures in everyday items or gets excited at the thought of a penny being worth a fortune, then you're absolutely going to love what we have in store for you today. Get comfortable, because today's story takes us deep into the fascinating and often surprising world of coin errors, minting anomalies, and numismatic mysteries. Specifically, we'll be diving into the incredible tale of the 1999 D. Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin, a humble penny that could be worth up to $1 million under the right circumstances, all because of a combination of extraordinary mint errors, rare variations, and an interesting historical context. Let's start with the basics. The 1999 D. Lincoln cent, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, was produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D. Mint mark. At first glance, it seems like just another copper-plated zinc penny, one of billions struck that year, nothing out of the ordinary. But beneath that modest surface lies a world of potential. The reason some 1999 D. Lincoln cents have fetched astronomical prices at auction is not just hype or collector mania, it's rooted in actual mistakes that happened at the mint, coupled with the extremely limited number of such flawed coins that ever made it into circulation. To understand why any 1-cent coin could be worth $1 million, we need to first appreciate how coins are supposed to be made, and then examine how things can go very wrong, or right, depending on your perspective. The U.S. Mint, especially the Denver branch, is highly efficient and modern. It produces coins at astonishing speeds, churning out hundreds of thousands of coins per hour. But even in such a finely tuned environment, errors can and do occur. And when they do, and those errors somehow slip past quality control, they can create ultra-rare varieties that collectors will pay staggering amounts of money to own. One of the most valuable characteristics that can elevate a seemingly common coin into the stratosphere of value is a minting error, especially if it's both dramatic and rare. With the 1999 D. Lincoln cent, several types of errors have been reported by collectors and graders that have made some of these coins incredibly valuable. Among the most notable are off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, and transitional errors. But perhaps the most intriguing and mysterious of all are the coins that seem to have the wrong metal composition or bear traces of mint marks that shouldn't be there, anomalies that defy explanation and ignite the imaginations of collectors everywhere. Let's delve into some of these possibilities and explore why they matter. First up is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally engraved twice onto the die, but slightly offset, causing features like the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile to appear doubled. With the 1999 D. cent, there are reports, although rare, of double die obverse, where Lincoln's face or the word Liberty appears duplicated. This is not just a curiosity. Such doubling, if prominent and verified, can skyrocket a coin's value, sometimes into the tens or hundreds of thousands depending on its condition and rarity. Then there are off-center strikes. These occur when the blank coin, known as a planchet, isn't properly aligned with the dies when it is struck. As a result, part of the design is missing, and the coin has a crescent-shaped blank area where the metal was never imprinted. The further off-center the strike, while still showing the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some 1999 D. cents have been found with extreme off-center strikes, and when combined with other errors like die cracks or clips, their desirability increases dramatically. Die clash errors are another fascinating category. These happen when the dies that stamp the coin strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving an impression of each die on the other. The next coin struck then receive ghost-like images from both sides. Imagine finding a 1999 D. penny where Lincoln's image appears faintly on the reverse side. It's spooky, mysterious, and highly collectible. Now let's talk about transitional errors, which might be the most exciting of all. These occur when the coin is struck using a composition or design from a previous or upcoming year. While there are no officially confirmed 1999 D. cents struck on the wrong planchet, rumors have swirled for years about the existence of such anomalies. For example, imagine a 1999 D. penny struck on a 95% copper planchet rather than the standard copper-plated zinc one used at the time. That would be an error of composition, incredibly rare and potentially worth hundreds of thousands to the right buyer. Even more tantalizing is the possibility of a mule coin, a coin struck using dies from two different denominations. These are exceedingly rare but have happened before, like the famous 2000 Sacagawea $/Washington quarter mule. If a 1999 D cent were found with a reverse design from a different coin, or with mismatched dies that don't belong together, it could easily break auction records. Although none have yet been conclusively verified for the 1999 D, the mere potential keeps collectors hunting, but perhaps the biggest draw for collectors when it comes to this specific year and mint mark combination comes from inconsistencies and misplacement in the mint mark itself. The D mint mark on the 1999 Lincoln cent is supposed to be perfectly struck and positioned under the date. However, mint mark punching was still manually done on master dies until 1990, and leftover dies or outdated practices sometimes resulted in misaligned, repunched, or otherwise irregular mint marks even after that. Some 1999 D cents show signs of repunched mint marks, what's called an RPM, where the D appears to have been stamped more than once, creating a shadow or doubling effect. These kinds of small anomalies can command a premium, especially when preserved in uncirculated condition. Adding to the intrigue is the sheer rarity of well-documented examples. It's estimated that billions of Lincoln cents were minted in 1999, but only a minuscule fraction exhibit these kinds of significant errors. And even fewer have been found in pristine condition, meaning full luster, no wear, and sharp details. Grading is essential in the coin collecting world, and when one of these error coins receives a high grade from a reputable organization like PCGS or NGC, its value can increase exponentially. Some coins graded MS-67 or higher, with prominent errors, have reached auction prices that defy belief. One such story that has been circulated among numismatic circles tells of a 1999 D cent with a dramatic double die and unusual planchet that was sold in a private transaction for close to $1 million. While details are scarce and such stories are difficult to verify, they add to the mystique and keep collectors searching for the next big discovery, and this is where the true magic lies, the idea that an everyday coin, something that might be sitting in your pocket, jar, or couch cushion right now, could be worth a fortune. The hunt is real, and for many collectors, it becomes a lifelong passion. Part of what makes the 1999 D Lincoln cent so captivating is that it looks so ordinary. It's not a silver dollar, not a gold coin, not a commemorative or proof strike. It's a simple penny. And yet, with just the right error, just the right deviation from the norm, it becomes an artifact of immense value and historical significance. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, and by the time you're done with this video, you'll be examining every penny in your pocket a lot more closely. We're going to explore a small copper-plated coin that, at first glance, seems completely ordinary, but it has shocked collectors and auction houses by being worth over $300,000. That's right, we're talking about the legendary 2060 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin. Now, you may be wondering how in the world a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could ever be worth that much money. The answer lies in a combination of fascinating minting errors, extremely rare varieties, and subtle but significant mistakes that occurred during its production. So, sit back, grab a snack, and let's unravel the story of one of the most intriguing modern coin rarities to ever leave the Denver Mint. Let's begin with a little background for context. The 2006 Lincoln cent, also known as the Liberty 1 cent, is part of the series that began back in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and it's remained in circulation ever since. By 2006, the design had become iconic. On the obverse, or front, of the coin, we have the familiar profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, along with the word Liberty, the date 2006, and the mint mark indicating where the coin was struck. On the reverse side, the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design added in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo and lasted until 2008, just before the bicentennial redesigns that came in 2009. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting. In the world of coin collecting, mint marks are critical identifiers. They show which of the U.S. Mint's facilities produced the coin: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, or West Point. The 2006 D penny, as you might guess, was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d beneath the date on the coin. Typically, Denver minted coins are common, with hundreds of millions produced each year. But something went wrong, or perhaps very right, depending on how you look at it, with a small batch of these coins in 2006. The error in question isn't just a minor blemish or scratch. We're talking about significant and highly unusual features that turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Several extremely rare 2006 D Lincoln cents have surfaced with anomalies that defy standard minting procedures. These include dramatic double die obverse, misaligned dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, clipped planchets, and most intriguingly, an incorrect or misplaced mint mark. The rarest of these errors appear to have a misplaced D mint mark, either doubled, located oddly far from its usual position, or even looking as if it's been punched over another letter, possibly from an earlier die reuse. This has sparked immense debate and interest within the coin collecting community, and top experts have weighed in on how such an error could even happen in modern times when the minting process is supposed to be nearly flawless. So how exactly could this occur? While minting technology has improved drastically over the decades, human error, machine malfunction, and even worn-out or repurposed dies can lead to rare and collectible mistakes. For the 2006 D Lincoln cent, one plausible explanation is that a working die was overused or improperly polished. This could cause weakening or doubling of the design elements, including the mint mark. Another possibility is that the mint reused a die that had previously been prepared with a different mark, leading to a D over something variety, one of the most coveted error types among collectors. When this happens, the coin can appear to have a doubled or ghosted mint mark, sometimes with noticeable distortion that can be seen even with the naked eye. And then there's the case of doubled dies. A doubled die occurs during the die-making process itself, not the coin-striking process. If the hub that impresses the coin's design onto a die shifts slightly between strikes, it can create a die that will, in turn, strike every coin with a doubled image. On the 2006 D Liberty 1 cent, several examples have been identified with doubling on the date, the word Liberty, and even on Lincoln's profile, especially around the jawline and coat details. This kind of doubling isn't a post-mint damage or a case of a machine doubling, which is common and far less valuable. It's a true die variety and can increase a coin's value astronomically depending on its visibility and clarity. Let's also talk about another stunning error, the off-metal strike. While rare, some 2006 D cents have been found struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or other denominations. Imagine a Lincoln cent made of a metal composition totally different from what was intended, say, on a dime blank or even on a copper-nickel planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc. When these oddities slip through the quality control cracks and make their way into circulation, they instantly become prized pieces due to their sheer improbability. In one known case, a 2006 D cent appeared to have been struck on a brass planchet, giving the entire coin a golden hue unlike any other cent from that year. Another category of high-value errors seen in the 2006 D series is misaligned die strikes. This happens when the dies that strike the coin are not properly aligned, resulting in one side of the coin being off-center. Some examples have Lincoln's portrait shifted drastically to the left or right, with part of the design even missing the coin's surface altogether. The more dramatic and clean the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Combine that with a visible mint mark error or doubling, and you've got a coin that's potentially worth thousands, or in rare cases, hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Then there's the fascinating world of planchet errors, such as clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake during the blanking process. These errors are relatively easy to spot but become incredibly rare when paired with other mistakes, such as off-center strikes or mint mark anomalies. Some 2006 D Liberty 1 cents have been found with such overlapping errors, and these multi-error coins can fetch astronomical prices because of their one-of-a-kind nature. So where does this $300,000 valuation come in? Well, certain examples of the 2006 Lincoln cent have sold at premium auctions for staggering amounts due to their combination of rare errors. One of the most talked about examples reportedly features a strong double die obverse, a strikingly misplaced or altered mint mark, and evidence that it may have been struck on the wrong metal composition altogether. This triple whammy of errors makes the coin not just rare, but possibly unique. For collectors, the value of such a coin isn't just about its metal content or age, it's about the story it tells and the mystery it holds. When multiple serious errors converge on a single specimen, it transforms from an everyday object into a relic of numismatic history. Demand also plays a role. In the competitive world of coin collecting, particularly among specialists in Lincoln cents, there's a constant hunt for the next big find. When a coin like the 2006 with such dramatic and layered errors appears, it can ignite bidding wars among private collectors, investors, and even museums. And it's this passionate demand that has pushed some specimens of this tiny 1-cent coin to reach final sale prices well into the six-figure range. Of course, not every 2006 Lincoln cent is worth a fortune. Most are still worth only their face value. But this story teaches us the incredible value of paying attention to detail. If you come across a 2006 penny with anything unusual, an odd color, doubling, a strange mint mark placement, or a shape that seems off, it's worth investigating. Many professional coin dealers and graders are eager to evaluate such coins, and even a relatively minor error can still increase a coin's value dramatically. For instance, some error coins from this series without the dramatic triple errors still regularly sell for $50, $100, or even $1,000 if they're in mint state and feature significant design anomalies. It's also worth noting that condition plays a massive role in a coin's value. A coin that's been in circulation and has wear or damage might still be worth more than a cent, but if you're lucky enough to find an error coin in mint state, especially one with multiple visible errors, the sky's the limit in terms of value. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC tend to sell for more, especially if their error is verified and cataloged in their system.